Hello YouTube, this is Yukanol fuck off here, and this is my Ashiok the Nightmare Weaver Nightmare Wizards deck. So get rid of some of these dice here and the box, and I'll show you what it's all about. Alright, here guys, I got all my stuff set up now. Let's take a look at the cherry on top of the deck. We got Ashiok the Nightmare Weaver. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus. Here we go. Exile the top 3 cards of an opponent's library is its little +2. Whoa, his -X is really powerful. So I can take I can pay X loyalty counters for the converted mana cost of a creature, and I can take control of it if I exiled it before with Ashiok. And then its -10, its ultimate ability exiles the opponent's hands and graveyards. And I got 2 of these, and it's pretty nice to have them. So that's my main boss dude, is Ashiok the Dark Wizard, the Nightmare Weaver. Let's take a look at the creatures. So I got Arcanist the Omnipotent from the old dual decks, the Speed versus Coming. Wool. So I can tap them and draw 3 cards, and then I can bounce them back to my hand if I need to. So there's my boss creature. I got my Will Breaker, so he takes control of creatures that are in play for my opponents if I cast a spell or an ability that targets them. My Grim Haruspex. So if a creature I got dies, I can draw a card. And I got a playset of these. There's Silumgar Sorcerer. So his flash and flying. And then his exploit ability is he counters a creature spell if he gets exploited a creature, which combos well with the Haruspex and this guy, the Youthful Scholar. So when he dies, I draw 2 cards. This is Archaeomancer, and he lets me when he enters the battlefield, I can recycle an instant or sorcery from my graveyard. It's pretty solid. My Incursion Specialist, so when I cast my second spell of the turn, he gets +2/+0 and is unblockable. So that's pretty solid. My one of my artifact wizards. I got my Wizard Replica. Study this, so I can sacrifice him for a blue and counter a spell unless the opponent pays 2. So yeah, I'm not giving things away. Alright, and here are my my wizard minions, which are just a bunch of undead things. I've got my Corpse Blockade. I've got 2 of them. There's the Defender. It's a 1/4. And if I sacrifice a creature, they gain Death Touch. So I got 2 of those. And I got 2 Mortis Striders. So they're 1/1 skeletons. And when they die, I return it to my hand. So that works well with all of my sacrifice abilities, so I can just recycle them. Let's take a look at my non-creature spells. Take a look at these. Check it out. I got a playset of Psychic Strike. It's one of my favorite counter spells in the game. So it counters a target spell, and its controller puts the top 2 cards of his or her library onto his graveyard. So it's not only a counter spell, but it also mills. I've got 3 of this Terror. Destroys a non-artifact and non-black creature for 2. It's an alright kill spell, especially for casual play, which this is a casual wizard deck, so it's alright. 2 negates, so I can target a non-creature spell and counter it for 2, which is solid. And here comes the cantrips. My crippling chill. So I tap a creature and it doesn't untap its next controller's next untapped step, plus I draw a card with instant speed for 3 mana. That's alright. I'm sure there's better, but that's alright for now. Got my treasure cruises. So it's delve, so I can exile a card from my graveyard to pay for these the 7 mana cost there. And I can draw 3 cards with that. So it's pretty good, especially with the amount of cards that'll be going through my graveyard with this. Then my 2 refocus, so I can untap a creature and draw a card for 2. Got them cantrips going. My spell twine. So I'll explain how this works. I can exile an instant or sorcery from my graveyard and my opponent's graveyard, and then I can play those cards without their mana costs, or without paying their mana costs myself. So it's pretty cool. Then got my other delve spell, my temporal trespass. So it's delve, I can pay 8 with the delve and then 3 blue mana, and then I take an extra turn. That was one of the first mythics I got, I think. Definitely the first I got out of Fate Reforged. Take a look at these two. They're my Tigum scheming, so it lets me look at the next 5 cards I'm going to get and restructure them however I want. And if I don't want any of them, I can toss them in the grave to pay for my delve. And then a good old telling time. So this doesn't let you look at as many, but it lets you keep one in your hand. But I look at the top 3, and I put 1 on top, 1 on bottom, and 1 in my hand. So that's pretty solid. My inaction injunction detains a creature and draw a card. So detain, it can't attack or block, or it really can't do anything until my next turn. Okay, so I've got this enchantment from Origins that I kind of liked at pre-release. So it gives a creature flying, but it can't block creatures that don't have flying. Also, it's a cantrip, so I draw a card. And here's another one that makes me sacrifice a creature. It's Ultra's Reap. So I have to sacrifice a creature and draw 2 cards. I think that's actually a pretty solid combo with things like that Youthful Scholar. Let's take a look at my lands and mana sources. So I've got 2 of this Mind Stone. So I can add a mana to my pool, or I can sacrifice it to draw a card with 1 mana. So that's pretty solid. My Traveler's Amulet. So I can search for a basic land, which is pretty solid because I kind of need that. I got these 4 swamps that I've just always had. And I think there's 8 islands in here. Yeah, I've got 8 basic islands, nothing special. And then the non-basic lands I've got here I've got an Ebon Stronghold. So when it comes into play tapped for 1, which is not very good. I can add 1 black to my mana pool, or I can sacrifice it to add 2. I got my Unknown Shores. So I can add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool. Or I can add a colorless, my bad. Sorry for that little pause there. I know I had y'all in suspense. Got Demir Aqueduct, so it enters tapped, and I have to bounce a land to my hand, but it will give me 2 mana every tap. It'll give me a black and a blue, and that bouncing works well with these 4 lands because it allows me to return them to my hand and use their effect again. So this comes in tapped. It adds a blue to my mana pool, but it has cycling, so I can pay 2, discard it, and draw a card. And that'll work well if that's in play, and I've bounced it with the Demir Aqueduct. Same with these. So this Mortuary Mire enters tapped. It only gives me a black mana, but I can put a card from I can put a creature from my graveyard on top of my library. So that's pretty cool if I got a creature that I need next turn in my graveyard. And I've got 2 of these Skyline Cascades. So they enter tapped, but come on, focus camera. They enter tapped, but they tap a creature, and it doesn't untap its controller's next untap step. So it's pretty solid, and recycle it with the Aqueduct once. It's pretty solid. I mean, I like it as a casual deck. It really gets people's goats, so to speak. There's I'm pretty sure with some money added in here, there'd be some real good combos going on. But it's what I like right now. So this is my 2016 Ashiok and Wizards deck. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Also, leave a comment if you like the deck, and if you'd like to see more of my casual or modern decks that I'm building. See y'all guys next time. Peace.